So last night I held the first class in the Making Custom Fabric series, and I found that there were some common questions and errors that happened during the class. So I figured I would make this impromptu video to clear up some of the ambiguity. Unlike my other videos, this video is not scripted, so I apologize ahead of time for any flubs. So let's start with one of the bigger problems, which was dealing with the windows, which can be confusing in GIMP as compared to, say, Photoshop. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's say we go to File, Open. Let's open this file. Everything looks regular here. Okay, one window. Let's open another file. And where did it go? It's down here in the toolbar. Okay, and as you see, the header, it has its own header that's separate from this header. So if I want to do something to this image, I have to use this one, and it can get very confusing very fast. So you have one of two ways of dealing with this. Either you can minimize all the windows and then arrange them so that it's not so much of a problem. And then you can put them side by side. Let me get rid of these guidelines. Okay, so you can put them side by side and easily go back and forth between them. Okay, or you can maximize both windows and then just go back and forth between them. Personally, I prefer minimizing them. Okay. And then another issue is activating a window. So you just click the window you want to activate. So this one's active now, and now this one. You just left click. Okay. Some of the common features, actions you need to do: new, open, save, save as. You save as when you don't want to save over the original file. And you can find their hotkeys right next to them. These are good hotkeys to remember, so you'll use them a lot. Okay. Something else I wanted to show you was that if you go to Image Properties, which you can also use the hotkey Alt plus Return, go over to Comment, you'll see that I put the instructions in each file right here in the comment section, so you can easily find them. Alright. The other big confusing area was the layer window. The layer window usually opens when you open GIMP, but sometimes it doesn't. So how do you find the layer window? You could go here to Windows, Dockable Dialogs, Layers, or you could use the hotkey Control L, which is usually what I do. Control plus L. Which doesn't work with that open. Let's try it again. Control plus L. And here is the layers window. Okay. And I guess I should show you something else here. If you have more than one window here, this layers window will show you whichever the layers from whichever window is active. So this one's active, it's showing me the layers for this window. This one's active, it's showing me the layers for that window. Alright. Layer names. Right here you'll find the names for these layers. You can name them whatever you want. You should name them because it helps you keep up with what's going on in the file. Layer modes, which was not discussed during the class because we didn't get to that part, but in the notes I'll be sending you later tonight, you will see that there's part of the assignment that uses layer modes. And so this is where you would find layer modes in the layer window. Click this and you get to them. Don't worry about if you don't know what these do right now. I'll show you in the later video that talks about the what we did with the class in the next video. And then moving a layer. You can use these arrows to move a layer. So if I want to take this one down, move it down, I can move it back up. Okay. Activating a layer. When you click the layer, you're activating the layer. This layer is active. Now this layer is active. Okay. This little eye icon tells you if it's off or on. So look here. The eye is open, the layer is on. When there's nothing there, the layer is off. So right now all the layers are off. Then now, when I click the eye, this layer is on. So this layer is on and active right now. Alright. And let me show something about floating selection. So we have this flower. It's the only one active and visible. Going to select all, and then I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to paste it. Now look what we have here in this new document. We have floating selection pasted layer. We need to get rid of this because we can't do what we want to do with this layer, with this floating like this. So we want to right click it and then go to new layer. Now our layer's like we want it to be. And then you can go and rename it if you want it to. Name it whatever you want. And then you're golden. So now another issue was using layer to image size. So let's make a new layer. Let's make it bigger. Now let's paste the flower again. Make a new layer there. And now if I click it, you'll notice this little dashed border around it. Okay, kind of like a bounding box, which represents the original size of this, which was 128 by 128. And it's still 128 by 128 here. This layer is. Because this dashed line shows you the boundary of this layer right now. So this can cause a problem when you want to use certain filters and different features within the program. And so let me show you an example of where it would go wrong. So in the assignments yesterday, one thing that we used a lot was offset to make seamless patterns. So go to layer, transform, offset. Okay, so this will offset it, but we're not going to get the results that we expect because of this bounding box. So let's hit this and then offset. And as you see, nope, we didn't get what we wanted, which was to have these all the way out to the corners. So let's undo that. So what we want to do is right click this and then go layer to image size. So now it's going, this layer size is going to match the image size. Now the boundary is where it should be. Now if we go and offset again, layer, transform, offset, we have the right numbers, half of the whole size of this, and we offset and bang, we get exactly what we wanted. So it's important to do the layer to image size to make sure it's where you want it to be. Alright, what else was a problem? I'm looking at the notes I took from last night. Copy versus copy visible. That was another issue. Let's get a different file to show that problem. That problem came up with this file. Okay. Just going to reuse this. That's how you delete a layer. Use a little trash can. Okay. So the difference between copy and copy visible. Now, if I wanted to make this whole thing a pattern that I can fill an image with, I'd want to use copy visible because I have 3 different layers here. I want to copy everything that I can see that's visible over here, everything that's on, everything that has all the eyeballs open. I want all of that, so I would use copy visible. Let's say I took this away. If I did copy visible, I would just get these 2 layers, not the background layer. If I did it here, I would just get this layer because this is the only layer visible. Okay. Now if I did a copy, I would only copy the active layer. So let me show you. So everything is selected. I go copy. And let me show you paste as pattern while I'm here. So after you copy something, you go to paste as, new pattern, name the pattern whatever you want to name it. The pattern window has disappeared down here somewhere. If I can find it. What happened to it? Okay. I already used it. And then we want to fill with pattern. And as you can see, all we got is part of it. We only got this layer that was active. It's the only thing we copied. And this isn't what we want. Okay. So what we want is to copy visible. And then we want to go to paste as new pattern. So what happened earlier was I was expecting for this window to go down here, because it does sometimes. On my laptop, this window immediately opens down here, and I have to go and open it. But on my desktop, it's opening. Go figure. Anyway, so let's just give it a random name. And then go over here and fill with pattern. And now we get what we wanted to get, the whole pattern. And for those who are curious, you can find your patterns here in the dockable dialogues. And this is where you can find all those patterns that you saved. They're in here. Okay. And what else was an issue? Layer scale versus image scale was another issue. Let's take a look at it with this. This came up with this file. Take off the guides. Okay. So what happened was that we were making this into a seamless tile with these three different symbols. So I'm going to quickly put together that just put the symbol itself here. Okay. Now what we did was make this symbol a little bit bigger. And what we want to do is make this layer larger, but we don't want to make the whole image larger. We just want this layer. So to do it to the layer only, go to Layer, Scale Layer, put in whatever dimensions you're going to put in there. And that makes just the layer bigger. Doesn't affect any of the other layers. And then to scale the whole image, you go to Image, Scale Image, and this will shrink everything, the whole document down. Okay, so that's the difference between those two. After class, I was asked about how to change colors in a document. Let's see. This would be a good one for changing colors. Changing colors that's a very simple thing to do. So first you have to look over here at these two squares. This top square is your foreground color. You change it to whatever you want to change it to. And this bottom one is your background color. And then to use them, let's say I want to change this background to this light color. I'll just go over to Edit, Fill with Foreground Color, or Fill with Background Color. Okay. Now let's say I wanted to color this black line here. If I just went and said Fill with Background Color, it's going to fill the whole layer. That's obviously not what we want. So what I'm going to do is activate it, click Lock. That means the transparency is locked off, and it's only going to fill the part with pixels that have filled in pixels. So now I can go Fill with Background, and now it's filled in that color only. And that's it for colors. It's just that simple. And I believe that's it for this. So join me in the next video where I go through each assignment, and hopefully that will help those who didn't finish or didn't get to see all of it. See you next time.